So in this video, we're just going to be creating this little React website. So 3 sections, section 1, section 2, section 3. And we've just added some other React projects from previous videos just to spruce it up a bit. And so we imported our React.js autoplay slider, and we imported a navigation system like this. And so it's perfectly responsive. This is the desktop. We go mobile like this, just reconfigures. And the navigation bar just behaves slightly differently like that. We go to the products page. We didn't do other pages, just the main page. We go back to the home page. We can do this. We go back to the desktop. It reconfigures. We can go to the about page, back to the home page. And so if this interests you at all, be sure to follow us on our Twitter and our Instagram, the socials. We do daily posts there, things we're working on, videos coming down the pipeline, video of the week, all that stuff if you want to keep up to date with what's happening on this channel. And with all of that said, let's begin. All right, so let's get started. Let me show you the normalize CSS file. So all we're doing is we're importing the font we're going to be using for the project. We're using that font. We are hiding the x-axis, the x scroll bar for the entire page, removing any unnecessary padding and margin for the divs in the body, and just removing all the style for the lists. So that's the normalize. We're also going to be using some icons from Font Awesome. So in our index.html, we have the link style sheet, and that's the CDN right here. So that's the normalize, that's the index.html. Let's create a component for the home page. So let's go here. Let's say home.js. This is going to be a functional component. Let's import that in our app. Let's do import, and it was components home.js. And let's use it here. Oops, let me do this. Import home from, there we go. Home. Import home from, let's save this. Semicolon, semicolon. Let's see if it's working. Should get a home here. All right, good. Let me close this. Okay, so that's the home imported. Let's import the create a style sheet for that home. So home styles.css, and let's import that guy here. So we're just going to build the skeleton of the page as well as the finer elements, and then we'll get into the styles. Home styles.css. There we go. So let's do section 1, 2, 3, and then the details. So let me kill this. All right, so 3 sections. Section 1, give me 3 of these. And we need to turn on the JavaScript React language mode. There we go. Let's try this again. Section 1, give me 3 of these. Perfect. Oops. Delete, delete, delete. Let's do a space here. Space here, space here. Space here, space here. All right, so section 2, section 3. So section 1 has some elements, but no further skeleton stuff, so we'll skip that. We're also going to have a gallery. We'll import it later on in the video, so let me just create the container now. And the gallery is just going to be, let me show you. This is the page we're creating. So that's going to be section 1 right there. Section 2 is right here. Section 3 is this content, or excuse me, contacts section right here, this blue-gray stuff. And the gallery is going to be right here. That's going to be later on in the video. So let's go back to section 1. All right, section 1, gallery, good. Section 2 has a left side and a right side. So left side, give me 2 of these. Enter here. This guy's going to be the right side. Right side. It also has a place for a call to action. That's this guy right here. Right, call to action. We're just telling our customers to browse our selection. So that's section 2, scaffolding or skeleton. Section 3 just has the contacts section. So contacts, and there's 3 contact sections in there. So div contact section. Give me 3 of these. Do this. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. There we go. 1, 2, and 3. All right, so that's the basic skeleton outline of the page. Let's go in and fill out the finer details. So in section 1, we have the background image, this guy right here. The wood panel. So let me do a image, we'll call it the background image. Dot slash images slash, and what did I name it? Background section 1.jpg. So background dash section 1.jpg. And then we have the title or the greeting. We're going to call it the greeting. And that's just going to be the Sinclair and BR, and it was market. So that's section 1, gallery, we'll do that later. Section 2 has a background image as well, right? Yes, it has this marble. So we're going to add this, not like this, an image. We're just going to add to these styles. I couldn't find a way to include it in the style sheet, so I had to do it like this. If you know of a way to include this in a CSS file, in a React project, just let me know in the comments. But for now, we'll do it like this, URL. And that's going to be images slash, and it was marble.jpg. That's section 2's background. And then we have the spoons that anchor to the bottom of section 2 right here. So let's add that right here. We'll say image.spoons /image/spoons.png. All right, call to action. Let's do that quickly. And it was browse our selection, missing an E. And the left side was what? Left side was organic, ethical, fresh. So organic, we'll do a, that's period, BR slash organic, ethical, BR again, and then fresh, and no BR there. All right, and the right side was just this spice bowl. Let's go here. Let me close this app.js right here. Image dot. We don't need a class for this. We'll just refer to it in the right side. So we'll just do an image, images /spice-bowl.png. There we go. So that's section 2. We got the background image, proper quoting, good. We have the left side, organic, ethical, fresh. We have the spice bowl. We have the call to action, browse our selection, and then we have the spoons anchored at the bottom. All right, for section 3, we just have 3 contact sections. So we'll do a list, an unordered list, 3 right here, affiliates, and then we'll do careers, and then we'll do privacy. And for this one, we have an unordered list of 2 things, and it was telephone, and it was email. And finally, 3 socials. So UL, LI times 3. And it was Instagram, it was, Twitter, and then it was Facebook. So let's go to Font Awesome and find these icons. There we go, and there we go. All right, let's go to Font Awesome. So we need a telephone. Let's go telephone. And we'll use these guys. So telephone, give me a mail. We'll use this guy. Give me a, what did we say? Instagram. This guy right here. Give me Twitter. This guy. And then finally, give me a Facebook. All right. Close this. So this is the phone. Control V. This is the email. All right, let's see if we got it on screen. So that's the background, spice bowl, spoons. There we go. Those are the contacts. Okay, so let's do section 1, section 2, section 3 styles. So let me hide all of the little details, the child elements. So let's just do this. Let's go all of this. Comment that out. And this as well. Comment this out. And gallery can stay. And we're going to comment this out. So let's do side by side. Left side, right side, home styles. All right. Okay, so let's start with section 1. So section 1, we'll do a width of 100 viewport width. We'll do a max width of 100%. We'll do a height. So section 1 is going to be 600 pixels. There's also going to be a box shadow so you guys can see it. So it's going to be 0 offset on the X, 5 pixel offset on the Y. We have a 22 pixel blur with a 10 pixel spread. And that was black. Should be a box. There we go. So that's section 1 right there. We'll have a position. We want this section to go over the second section. So position relative and a Z index, like 9. We'll also add the overflow hidden. So that's basically it for section 1. Move on to section 2. Section 2, same thing. So width, 100 for width. We have a max width of 100%. This guy's height's going to be double the first section, so it's 1200 pixels like that. There's going to be a color. There's no color. It's just going to be this, let me see. Just going to be this marble background. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's slight marbling. We have to get the background image to fit the section. So let's do this quickly. Let's do background, repeat, no repeat, and background size cover. We should shrink the image. There you go. You can see more of the marbling like that. So that's section 2. We have, you can't see it now, but we're going to need a padding for all of the elements in here. Right here. There's a padding around these elements. So the padding is 40 pixels on the top. We have 30 pixels on the right. We have 0 on the bottom. And then we have the same 30 pixels on the left like that. We also need a position relative, but we're not going to play with the Z-axes here. We just need it because the elements inside section 2 need the position to be something other than static. The default position is static, but we need something other than static. So we're just doing relative. So padding, width, max width, height, position. Am I missing anything? I don't think yes I am. Display of flex. Display of flex with a flex wrap of just wrap. So that's section 2, section 3. Section 3. Let me give this a color so you guys can see how it's transforming. Hashtag 676B89. It's this gray color. There we go. So we'll do a width, same thing. 100 viewport width. We'll do a max width, 100%. We'll do a height of fit content, which we're not going to be able to see because there's no content. So for now, let me just do this. Height, 600 pixels, like that. Close that, save. There we go. So that's the color of the thing. We also need a box shadow on this guy. So we need 0. Let's do, actually no, the box shadow would come from the contact section. I believe 0, 0. Yeah, I think it might. So let's just delete that. We'll do a font size of 20 pixels for everything in the section 3. We'll do a display of column. Display of flex direction of column. And we're just going to justify all of the content starting at the flex end. And align the items center. We need a position of absolute. And we need this guy to be on top of the section 2. So Z index of like 99. Alright, section 3. Width, max width. Do we have a margin or padding that we need? I don't think we do. Height, we're going to turn it to fit content later, but for now we'll do 600 pixels. Display, flex, align items, position, font size, background color. Alright, so let's get to the first section elements. So let me uncomment these guys. Save that, image, gallery. And we're going to do the gallery as well. We're just going to put this, what do I have here? We're going to put this little box here as a placeholder for the gallery later. So let me do some commenting like this. We'll say this one is the section 1 children, like that. All right, let's start. So the first things first, let's do the background. Section 1, background image. We'll do a width of, I think it was 100%. There we go. Let's do a max width for HD. Let's do 3840 pixels, and a minimum width. Even for desktop, even for mobile, excuse me, it's just going to be 1000 pixels. There we go. And let's anchor it at the bottom of the container. So we'll just do a position of absolute and a bottom of 0 like this. So that's good for the background image for section 1. Let's move on to the greeting. So greeting, width, let's say fit content. And we can't see it, so let me just do this quick. Let's do a position relative, and we'll say Z index of 99. There we go. It's on the top left. Let's increase the font size quickly. It'll be here. So font size, we'll do 150 pixels. Let's change the color to white. All right, let's give this guy a border, a box shadow border. Box shadow, 0 offset on the X, 0 offset on the Y. We'll do a 20 pixel blur with a, what are we doing here? 2 pixel spread in black. There we go. And background color, we'll dim the background like this. RGBA, it's gonna be black, so 0, 0, 0, but 0.3 alpha or opacity, something like that. There we go. And just to give it some pop, you might not be able to pick up on this, but we're just gonna turn up the brightness to 200% like this. 200%. There we go. Font size, color, background. Let's move the text inside this. Right now it's too close to the left. It's too close to the top. So let's do some margin and some padding. So margin, 10 pixels from the top, 0 from the right, 0 from the bottom, 10 pixels from the left. There we go. And let's do padding, 10 as well. There we go. Margin, padding, width, position. Do we need display? No, we don't. Position, set index, font size, color. All right, that looks good. Position. Yeah, it looks good. All right, let's move on to the gallery, the placeholder. So for our gallery, we'll do a width of 40, viewport width, a minimum width, so it can't shrink past 400 pixels. For the height, we'll do 25 viewport width, not height. So everything's relative to the width, just to maintain aspect ratio. So width, and the minimum height we're going to achieve is 250 times 100, or 10. Where's that 100? I guess 10. 250 pixels like that. And let's give this a same box. Let me just copy this. Same box shadow as the text, the greeting. Save that. And let's do a position of absolute. So it's on top. Let's do a Z index of 99. There it is. Let me try one more 9. And let's do a top of 30%. Good. Let's do a right of 4%. See where that ends up. There we go, 4%. Should that be right top, right, Z index? Why isn't that placing on the galleries in section 1? Section 1 has relative. Do an F5 here. There we go. Now it's on the right side. It was showing from the left, which is weird. All right, so width, minimum width, height, min height, position, Z index, top, right. Feel like I'm missing something. Box shadow. Let's just do a background color of red, like we had in our little write-up. All right, that's that. Padding. Actually, that looks really ugly. Let's do this. And delete that. Okay, that looks good. And we're going to get we make this thing responsive. We'll make it so these things don't overlap like that. As we close the width of the browser, this logo or greeting, whatever you want to call it, that should shrink closer and closer. So these guys never overlap like that. It's kind of ugly. All right, so it's section 1, section 2, and then section 3. Let me just see if I forgot anything. Width, max width, height, position. We got the shadows, section 2, section 3. We have font size. Background image, we have the max for the HD, the min for the desktop and the mobile. The greeting, good. Font size is good. Colored in white, background color, filters, good. Gallery. Width of width, minimum. Position, absolute, Z index, top right. All right, that looks good. If I forget anything, I'll just add it. So let's move on to section 2. So let's do this. And let's do this, and then turn on the child elements. So this right here. Save. All right, so section 2. Okay, so let's go side by side and finish section 2 and 3. So let's go on the left side here. We'll do the right side here. Section 2, so we'll go down here. Let's shrink that image before we start. What's the image? It's in section 2, right side. Right side, let's just do 20% for now. I think it's a lot larger than that, but just want to get it off the screen like that. 20%. 20% of the container, and it doesn't have a container, so let's just do, for now, let's do 100 or 50. 50, and height auto maybe. Just want to get it off the screen. F5. Right side, oh, excuse me, we need the image. So maybe that would work. There we go. Okay, so the image is off the screen, there we go. All right, so let's start with the spoons. So we're going to anchor these spoons. I don't know if you can see them. I think that's a spoon. I'm going to anchor the spoons on the bottom like this. Where are we? These guys right here. Anchor those spoons on the bottom like that. Like that. So that class was spoons. So spoons, a width of 100%. Do a max width for for 4K for 3840 pixels. Let's do a position and a height. We'll do auto. And we'll do position absolute. We'll just anchor it to the bottom. So absolute, and we'll do a bottom 0, left 0. That should work. There we go. All right, so let's anchor to the bottom of section 2. Let's move on to the left side and the right side. So left side, and that's going to be this text right here, this organic, ethical, fresh stuff. Let's start with a width of 100%. No, two sides, so 50%. We'll do a height of 50% as well. Good. Let's up the font size of that. So we'll do font size. We'll do 110. See what that looks like. That's good. Font size. Let's do color. Let's change the color. Let's go. What is it going to be? Hashtag. What is it? 343 1E 1E 1E. I think it was. Yeah, there we go. Let's up the contrast. So filter. Do contrast 200%. There we go. And let's make it, it's too far to the right, or it's too far to the left. Let's do a padding of 70 on the left. So padding, we'll do 0 on top, 0 on the right, 0 on the bottom. 70 pixels on the left. There we go. Organic, ethical, fresh. Is that how we have it? Organic, ethical, fresh. Yeah. Color, font size, position. Do we need display? We are going to display flex, and we need to align it on the center in terms of its y-axis. So not the x, but the y down this way. So display flex, and align items center should do it. There we go. Good. Let's handle the right side. Right side. We'll just center that spice bowl. So let's do a width 50%. We'll do a height of 50%. And we'll do a display of flex, justify center, align items center, and that should do it. And let's increase this guy to 70%, I think it was. All right, looks good. And the reason why it's catching onto the text, we don't have the, I think we don't have the responsive code yet. That's this file here. We'll get to that once we finish the section 2 and section 3. So right side's done. Width, height, display positions, display colors, padding. Do we need? No, we don't. All right. So what's next? Let's get to the browse selection. This guy right here. Browse our selection, which is the call to action. Call to action. Let's say width of 100%. Let's say a height of fit content. In background color. Let me see if I'm actually changing this. Perfect. So width, we got height. Let's increase the font size. So font size, we'll do 70 pixels. Let's increase or get the color, the same color. So 1E, 1E, 1E. 1E, 1E. Same filter, the contrast. 200%. Get rid of that red. Okay, let me do this. All right, let's move move this text up and make sure it's centered in the page. So we'll do a text align center, and we'll move it up. So we'll do a margin top. So we'll do a margin of -22%, 0 on the right, 0 on the bottom, 0 on the left. That looks good. Browse our selection. Margin, width, height. Do we need position? No. Do we need display? No. Text, color, font size, filter. All right, that's good. And I'm going to do this right now because later on when we import the React router DOM, this is going to be a link. And the links are going to show up as blue when they're unclicked and purple when they're clicked. We want to stop that. So for now, we'll do this. Call to action, the anchor, which is going to be this guy in here. I'm going to turn off any sort of decoration. So text decoration to none and the color to unset. But that will come later. You'll see that later. Okay. So that's section 2. We have the spoons. Let's move to section 3. So we're just going to do this stuff here. Should be these contact lists. So let me copy this divider. Let me paste that down here. And this is section 3. So we'll start with the context. Actually, let me see if I missed anything in section 2. Left side, right side, call to action, the spoons, the background image. No. All right, let me uncomment this. Save. There we go. All right, so the contacts, we'll do a width of 100%. We'll do a height of 30%. Let's do a background color of, I think it was 303443. Should be like this gray color, yeah. There we go. Let's do a box shadow of 0 offset on the X, 0 offset on the Y. We'll do, I think it was a 5 pixel blur, 0 pixel spread, and the same color, 03443. See what that looks like. Let's do 10, see if that looks better. No. Let's do 5. Let me check the preview. What do we have? All right, we have to get rid of this. That was section 3, right? Section 3, and that was fit content. There we go. That's why it looked so weird. There we go. Let's increase the blur on this guy. You can't really see the shadow like in here. So let's go 5. See what 5.5 looks like. It's way too blurry. Let's go 5. How about this? Let's go 0. And just do a black. Just want a nice contrast on the that looks slightly better, slightly popping. 10. 5. All right, we'll keep it like that. All right, so that's the width, that's the height. Let's move this, let's do this. Let's do a display flex. And the justify content, we'll start at the start, so flex start. There we go. Flex start, and let's move the contacts up a bit. So we'll do a padding on the bottom. So 0 top, right, bottom of 30 pixels, and the left is 0. There we go. And the color, so let's do this, contact section now. And I think this fixes itself, because right now it's too low. So it should fix itself when we add the responsive code. If not, we'll just fix it in the CSS. So contact section, width, each section is going to be 200 pixels. The height's just going to be 100%. Let's increase the font size, 22 pixels. Let's change the color to white. Good. Let's space it. So this is too far to the left here. So let's do a margin for each. Margin 0 top and bottom. And we'll do a 20 pixel left and right. There we go. Margin, width, height, color, font size. Am I missing anything? Color, font size, filters. No, it should be it. Margin, width, height, color, font size, display. Do we need no position? Do we need? No, I think that's it. Let's import the responsive code and see if it fixes the height of this. I kind of want this a bit higher than this. That was 30%, right? Height 30%, yeah. All right, so I'm just going to copy and paste it. It's just resizing things based on dimensions. We'll go through it quickly. Just don't want to write all this stuff. Control V. And let me just do this responsive code. Copy this, paste this here, and we'll say what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 CIW responsive code. So all it's doing is if you have a max width of 948, so basically anything under 948, we're just redefining the font size for the greeting. This guy right here, Sinclair Market. Anything in between 768, or excuse me, below 768. So that'd be like your mobile or your tablets. Again, just redefining the size for the greeting, the height for the section 2, all that stuff. Max width 501, so that would be the mobile. This will be the tablet. This will be basically low HD, not low HD, SD, standard definition. And down here we should have minimum width 1920. So basically HD up into 4K resolutions, 256 or 2560. Again, just redefining font sizes and different alignments. Let's do Control S. Let's see what we get. All right, that's still actually looks pretty good. Let me just try it. Let me do this context section. Context, see what 40 looks like. Might be way too crummy. 40, what am I? What's this? Dimensions of this, Control Shift J. What dimensions are the window? So that's 698. So it's between 698. So max width 768, 698. Maybe this guy right here. And that was, what is it? Contact. Height 40%. Still not changing. Let me try this. Right click, inspect. Give me the contacts, style. Height 40%. Oh, it's a fit container, I think it is. Let me go 80%. Still not changing. It might be these guys then. Contacts. Section. Anyways, we'll just leave it like that. If you want to change the height of that, you can. Just figure out which style, which property it is. So let me see if it works for desktop and mobile. So that's desktop. This is 1920 by 1080. Let's resize doing this. There we go. There we go. And that should be mobile. So right now the gallery should be here. Let's see if it is here. Yeah, it's the gallery. So you can't see it right now because we haven't imported it. We're going to do it in the next section. But the gallery's right here. That's the greeting page. These guys go smaller. You still have the browse selection. The spoons are still anchored, and these guys, the font shrinks, the font size. So that's mobile. See if I can do HD on this guy. So that's smallest mobile. Looks good. Next one looks good. Next one looks good. Next one. SD looks good. Laptop looks good. Can I do, this one is 1440, so 16 by 10, that's good. What's the next one? 4K, let's see what that looks like. All right, so everything's screwed up here. Let's fix this one. So let's start with the section 1 height. So it was, what was it, 600. So let's double that and see what that looks like. All right, 600, that looks better. Let's take care of, we said top left, for the greeting here, section 1 greeting. Position, relative, padding, so we'll keep that. All right, so height is that. Section 2 was 1200, so let's double that again. So section 2, let's do this. Section 2, we'll do a height of 2400. And everything should fall into place. So that's the gallery, that's the little greeting, left side, right side, browser selection. That looks good. Large for 4K. All right, so let's work on the gallery here. Okay, so I imported all of the components we're going to need for the gallery, as well as the navigation bar. We'll get to that after the gallery. So the gallery just has the deck and the cards, and the styles are style objects. So the styles are within the within the file here. And I'm not going to go over how this works. I did a video on that. I'll have a link in the description box below, or a card on the top right explaining that. We're just going to modify this guy. So let's start by importing this into the file, and then we'll resize it. So let's open the home. Let's do an import deck from, and then we'll say ./deck.js, and it's in the gallery. So we need to know when the page is loaded so we can load in the gallery after the fact. So we need to use some React hooks. So we'll use state. We'll have use effect, and we need a reference to the gallery for the use ref. The gallery is going to use the reference of this guy in order to size properly. You'll see when we use it. So let's start simply with the loaded variable. Const loaded. We'll say set loaded. And use state, and the initial state just gonna be a false like that. And let's just do a conditional here. So if it's loaded, we are going to use the deck, else we'll just have a null like that. So let's set the loaded to true once the page is loaded. So use effect, callback, and empty array for the second argument, and we'll set loaded to true like that. It should be on the page. Let's see if it's on the page. There we go. So it's on the page. We just need to have it know where the limits of this. Let me turn off that autoplay feature. Deck, where would that be? It would be here. So this gallery just needs to know the images or the dimensions of this gallery container so it can appropriately size. So let's get this understanding the reference to this container. So let me close the deck. We need another two variables. So we need a gallery to keep the ref. So gallery set gallery is use state, and we'll set it to 0 for now. Then we need the actual ref. We need to create a ref for the gallery. So const, we'll call gallery ref is equal to use ref, and that would go here. So ref is equal to gallery ref like that. And so once this page loads, like this, all this loads, we want to set this guy right here to the reference. I've tried it. We can't directly do gallery ref here and then something like gallery is equal to gallery ref. We have to go by way of the gallery variable. And so once the page is loaded, we're going to set the gallery here into, let me do this, that gallery there, this variable over here, to this guy right here. So in here, we'll just say set gallery to the gallery ref like that. So now our deck understands who its parent is. So let's use this ref inside the deck. Let me use side by side so you guys can see it transform in real time. All right, F5. Let's open the deck. DCK components, that one there. Okay, so let me just do this first. Let me get all of these to be 1920 large images, and we'll say 1920 by 1080. We'll do 1, 2, 3, 1080, and we'll say 82, 84, 86. All right, so that width, so it knows the dimensions of this guy. That would be, is this the correct file? Let's see if this is the correct file. Yeah, it is. Okay. All right, so let's do, so right now when we resize it, it's probably going to go wonky because it doesn't understand, yeah, its parent's container. So right here, this new width, that's the gallery's width, the container, the parent. So this dot with props, imported the props, yes we did. So this dot props, we'll say dot gallery dot current. And we'll say current dot get bounding client rect. We just want the width like that. Save. F5 this. And it's not working. Why is that? This new width. Gallery current get bounding client rect. Width. Is this the correct file? That is the correct file. In the home we have the gallery set gallery ref use ref. Let me say null for now. 5, still not working. Gallery set gallery use state set gallery gallery is equal to the gallery variable, ref is equal to gallery ref. Within here, we use the width props gallery current client. Oh, it's a method like that. There we go. All right, so now it understands the boundaries. We'll change that in the resize listener as well. So same thing here. This.props.gallery.current.get bounding client rect.width. So now when we resize it, F5 that, it should know its boundaries like that. So it stays with the container. All right, let's these previous and the next button. Let's fix those. So first things first, the path to those buttons is broken, which would be here. So we'll do this, delete images / we should get some chevrons, there we go. Let's confine these to this border of the gallery. So that would be up here. Right now I think there's 60, yeah, there's 60 viewport widths in dimension. Let's do 100%. So let's copy, paste. Let's say, we're going to clean this file up. I'm not going to leave all of this code that we don't use for you guys in the source. This is just for the previous video, all of these, this commented stuff. So 100, we'll change the units to percent, not VW. That should put these guys within the boundary of, there we go. And let's shrink those a bit. Let's go 10%, see what that looks like. It's a bit too small. Let's go 15%. 15%. It's better. Let's bring these selection buttons down here. So we're just going to uncomment the code where we reposition them. So that would be, which one would be? Selection buttons. This guy right here. So we comment that out that you drop the buttons. There we go. Okay, let me go into the resize listener and do this again. We don't need this line. The width we got. The button placement as a percentage. We need that as a percentage. The new size, we said 15 for those buttons. And we uncommented the placement of the selection buttons. Save. And let's do one last thing. Let's change the color for the active and the non-active. And so that would be done. Let me do this. I need more space. That would be done. Where are the colors here? Right here. So for active, we'll say instead of red, we'll do the white. Same box shadow, we'll do white on black. We'll do black here. And for the unactive or non-active, we'll do this color right here, 67AB33. That should be the green color I had in the video. F5, there we go. Let's do F5. Let's go up, click. There we go. All right, let's get this, the cards it looks too plain. So let's put a box shadow on that. So let's go to the card right here. Card, we'll add a box shadow. Box shadow, we'll say 0 offset on the X, 0 offset on the Y. We'll try a 5 pixel blur, 0 pixel spread, and we'll say black. Still not good. Let's do this because it's getting cut off at the top. 90%. And the card, is there an overflow hidden on any of this? Card styles, card, IMG, deck, viewport, images container, nav buttons container, selection button container, selection. All right, let's get a better backing of that. Let's try a 5 pixel blur, 5 pixel spread. Looks slightly better. Let's lower the size of the card. Let's go 85%. There we go, looks better. Okay, so that's the gallery. Works. Looks a bit too, sorry, I'm just being nitpicky about this. Let's go back to 0. No. 2. Yeah, it was better like 4. All right, we'll keep it at 4. There we go. Okay, so let's start implementing the navigation bar. All right, so before we close this project off with the navigation bar, I forgot I told you guys I would clean up that deck file, so I just went ahead and I removed all the unnecessary commenting. So all the lines that were commented out, I just removed them just to trim the fat. I also changed the color of the those radio buttons, so we now have white on white, just to give it an actual sort of like a glowing effect. Before it was white on black, now it's white on white. And so I've gone ahead and done that. Let's get to the final home stretch here. And that would be the Nav Bar, which is React Router DOM, which means we need to surround this whole project with a browser app.js, a browser router. So let's import all the stuff we need. So let's say browser router, we need a switch and we need the route. And all that comes from React Router DOM. Okay, we can get rid of this. Let's say browser router. We want the nav bar to be placed on every single page, so we'll do this right here. Nav bar, like that. Let's import that. CIW, nav bar, and this guy's nav bar as well. And we need the switch with all the routes. So switch, and we'll do the first route. Exact path is equal to slash, that's going to be the home route. And that's the home. We also have, what else do we have? We have the deck, no, that's the gallery. So we have the products and the about page. We're not going to do an about page for this, I'll include it here just to write for you guys, but we're not going to have a link anywhere. Actually, we will. It'll be in the navigation bar, because that's how we, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I'm not going to explain how the navigation bar works. If the video is not out before this one, it'll definitely be after this one. Just a video explaining how we constructed a simple navigation bar. So that does have about in it. Let me just double check it. What do we have in the navigation bar? We have a home, a products, and an about. Home, products, yeah, that's good. So we will have an about link. So that's home, products, about. Let's do this. Products. And that's products. And then we have the about page. About and slash about. So probably need to import those. That's what's giving me an error. Let's go products. This is products. And the products is just going to be the call to action we did in section 2. We're just going to wrap it in a link. So about and about right there. Good. So we can close this. Let's open up the home. And this guy right here, call to action, browse selection, which is wrap it in a link. So link to equals, and we'll do a products like that, slash products. So slash products. There we go. Let's take the text and put it in there. All right, we need to import the link from React Router DOM. Let's go import link from React Router DOM. Okay, let's see if it works. Go back here, F5 this thing, let's scroll down. And there we go. Let me click, we can't click, why can't we? Click inspect. Right side, it's the call to action, it's an image. No, it's this guy right here. Browse selection. What's this? Oh, the spoon image, it's overlapping. So let's turn off the pointer events for the spoons. Let's do, and this is the navigation bar. We're gonna change this icon in a second and change this this neon green stuff. It looks ugly. So here, and what did I just say we were gonna do? We were going to pointer events. There we go. Spoons right here. Pointer events. We'll say none. Save. Go back. F5. Scroll down just a bit. We click and we should get a products page. Perfect. All right. So let's change the icon, the color, and I think there was one more thing. F5 this. Yeah, this is too large. We need to change the size of this once we go mobile. So let's start with the icon. That was this guy right here, which is this guy. We're just gonna have a leaf instead of that little owl. So let's open the Nav Bar, container logo, this guy right here. And this, Control V, and it's React, so we need a class name. Class name, save, go back. Do we have our little leaf? We do. Let's change the color of this. And so the color of that is in the Nav Bar styles. Nav Bar, this green stuff, get rid of that nonsense. And the color we want is this guy right here. Control copy, Control paste. Should be a darker green. There we go, it's a lot better. All right, let me resize. That's very good. Let's resize this. It's clipping on the side. And so that would be max width for our mobile. But what is the actual element on screen? Icon, container, menu switch. I think it's menu switch. We'll try that. Do I have a menu switch here? I do. Menu switch. Font size. I think it's this guy right here. Let's copy this. Let's go to mobile. And that was what? 4EM? Okay, 4EM. That's mobile. Nav container logo. We'll put it right here. And that was a font size. We'll try 2EM, see what that looks like. A lot better. Okay, looks good. Mobile, products, the product page. Let me do this quickly. So I'm just doing little things. We're basically done the project. I'm just doing this so we can see the copy this so we can see the menu icon, the about page. Here, save F5, and it's not going to be. It has to be the entire page. Let's not fuss with that. I'd have to create a new container. So just trust me, the icon's actually in the top right. So you can design your products and your about however you want. F5. Let's go to about. Let's go back home. There we go. Let's start the slideshow automatically. And that was in the deck. This guy right here. Save, close, minimize, F5. All right, so that's going to be it for the video. We have a perfectly, responsive mobile. We imported 2 elements from previous React projects, so we didn't have to write that code from scratch, which is a nice feature of React. We have 3 sections. It's basic, but I think it looks pretty good for a basic site. The flares added with these little elements and this guy right here. You can go to the desktop version. Yeah, so that's it for the video. Don't forget to leave a like. It helps the channel grow. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. And I'll see you guys in the next one. One last thing before I leave you guys. I found an error in post-production. And so when we did this, when we went to a new page, there was an error where we'd resize the window and we'd get basically our gallery was looking for the container because we set a listener. I commented that. So we set a listener for resize as well as some timers right here. We set some timers for the autoplay. But when I went to this page here, the products, there's no gallery anymore. But the timers and the listeners exist in the window. So those are still ticking in the background. And so it would result in an error. So in order to solve that, I had to, let's take care of the timers first. Those are easy. I just had to clear the timeout and the interval when we unmounted the component. I also had to take all of the code for the resize listener, put it into a function up here, call it listen resize, call it whatever you want, and then call it down here as a second argument. So instead of writing the function in the second argument completely, I just extracted it to a method or a method and then called it here so I could uncall it, quote unquote, uncall it here, remove the listener. It takes 2 arguments. Which listener do you want to remove? The resize, and it needs a signature. Which function did you use for the resize listener? So that's all I did in the post-production just to prevent it from crashing when we did this. So we go to this page here, gallery mounts. There are timers. There are listeners in the background. We go to the product. there's no more gallery, but the listeners and the timers are still there. And so when we did something like this, we get an error. Now we don't. So just a little error I found post-production.